Guys,
Hey,
welcome to Starr Mazer TV. I'm Don Thacker, director of Starr Mazer, and this is...
Landon Podbielski. I made Duck Game.
You made Duck Game. Well, he's still making Duck Game.
Yeah.
It's not out yet. You made the younger brother of Duck Game that was previously referred to as Duck Game, but will be replaced by Duck Game when Duck Game comes out.
Yeah, there was a Duck Game on Ouya before,
Yeah.
but now Duck Game's gonna come out.
Uniquely suited to the capabilities of Duck or of the Ouya, right?
Yeah, now it can break out.
And get bigger. Going to Steam.
Yeah.
When's that date?
It's coming out on Steam. I actually don't know if I can announce the date yet.
Can't announce the date. Coming out on Steam soon.
Like in
Duck Game's coming out.
early May. Early May, I would say.
Yeah, early May, Duck Game. Sounds good. The reason Landon, all the way from Vancouver, is here in Seattle, all 3 hours away, is because we spent the day out at a cool park called Gasworks Park in Seattle, which is this sort of park where there used to be these giant gasworks, which were sort of, I think it was natural gas. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's a cool factory.
Big industrial factory kind of looking place where we're gonna shoot a commercial for Duck Game. We're there doing choreography and all kinds of cool stuff today. Planning. Tomorrow we're going to actually go shoot it, and Landon's going to be there with us. He's actually going to be in it. So Cerberus says, you made Duck Game, you are God.
Do you like Duck Game? That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's pretty rad that you like Duck Game.
I didn't know anybody here had heard of it. That's super cool.
Well, Fuzzy has, for sure. Cerberus definitely has. So, yeah, anyway, that's what we're doing. That's what we were up to today. Landon's in town to go get ready for the spot. He's going to be in the game or in the spot, like I said. Duck Game, interesting announcement. I think we posted this on Twitter, but haven't talked about it yet. Brick Stonewood. There's a Brick Stonewood mask.
Yeah.
Hat.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Hat.
Head.
Head. It's like a. Yeah, it's totally brick, and he looks cool and.
In Duck Game. Stuff. Yeah. That'll be pretty cool. So that's going to go on the Steam version, right? That's the thing?
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's so cool. Googling Duck Game, I'm hyped, says Rafa. Awesome. Fuzzy Key says, Landon, I'm actually a goat. I'm a huge fan. Server says, I saw Brick's face for Duck Game. Looks sweet. That's awesome. Anyway, that's why Landon's here. You're releasing on Steam. You guys should look up Duck Game, see when there's an announcement about when it's coming out. You should check it out. Landon and I and the rest of the Imagos crew have played a lot of Duck Game. I mean, he's obviously the maker. He's played a ton, but internally we've played a ridiculous amount of Duck Game. It's very fun. It's super fun. When people ask me what it's like, the closest thing I can say is actually Smash Brothers. Honestly, it's got the Smash Brothers, not Omega mode.
Omega? Is that where you have?
It's boring dumb mode.
Oh yeah, no, screw that.
It's the mode where they play Smash Brothers, but then they turn off all the Smash Brothers part.
Yeah, so it's like if you're not an expert fighter, you can't have any fun really.
Right.
Like you can't get the hammer or to screw people over.
Yeah, no, it's lame. Anyway, no, it's cool. If you're like a tournament fighter, I'm sure you. I don't know. This is the thing, man. If I'm a tournament Street Fighter player, I'm playing Ryu or whatever. You can walk around, you can be urban, and you can be hip, and you can have like a thing. Like, you can have like a. I'm saying urban. Whatever your thing is. There's a classification. You walk around, you talk with slang, you feel all badass, you look cool, and you play like the guy who's like cool or whatever. I see that. You go to any of those fighting tournaments or whatever, you never have like a nerdy dorky guy.
Yeah.
You have like they're all this edgy and like what's up, you play a game, what's up, and they have this like edge. It's very hard for me to imagine those guys playing as Peach.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of edge doesn't really work.
If you asked them about it too, they'd be super serious, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't talk about it all fun, like, oh yeah, I really like this one move she does.
Yeah,
They'd be like, oh, I never used that. It's not very good.
Yeah, or like I meta the OP. Fucking, I don't know. I'm not a fighting game like guy.
It's like chess for them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't get my head around stuff that like specific. Right?
When you see somebody do that with even like Mortal Kombat 9, you see like a badass Cyrex player. Like I said before, Pete Han, look that guy up. Those guys are cool dudes. It's hard to imagine somebody being a cool dude playing Diddy Kong. So like the Omega mode, I don't get it. It makes no much sense to me. Cerberus wants to know how much Duck Game will be, if you're allowed to say.
There's no official price yet, but I'm aiming for it being around $15, maybe on sale at release. We'll see. It shouldn't be more than 15, I don't think.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's a fun game. It's insanity. Often you'll either die or win completely by way of accident. Like it's nice. It's a satisfying game. When you get a couple of tricks under your belt, I know Kazuo is doing some cool tricks. When you get some tricks under your belt, you feel like you can master it, but you can still die very easily.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Well, at this point, I mean, like I play it so much, I've gotten to the point where I'm usually losing because I'm spending all of my time like just fucking around, trying to do weird stuff, trying to win in such a way that everybody else is like, "What the heck did you just do?"
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you can fake die. You can do all like you can lay there next to your mask or whatever. I often, if things are getting like really heated on the other side of the stage, I'll just fake die.
Yeah,
and that's the greatest. So people can come by and then you pop up and shoot them. It's really nice. Anyway, it's a really cool game. We have a really cool spot in store. Keep an eye on the Imagos Films Twitter account. You'll see a whole bunch of photos and videos and stuff popping up. Over the course of the next couple days of us shooting the duck game spot, which we are referring to in the social medias as Project Appleyard. So there you go.
Which is funny because I actually, when Don told me it was called Project Appleyard, I was like, "That's a cool name, but don't all the other Images names have something to do with the content, right?" And he was like, "Well, Appleyard's a kind of duck."
Yeah, it's the kind of duck that's used primarily in your game.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not up to date on my duck information at all.
So, Serpers wants to know for couch co-op, will the screens be separate when the characters separate, or will they be with the same screen? I'm going to answer that. I have never seen it not in couch co-op, and the camera just zooms. It's great.
Yeah, and in online mode, it's going to be that way too.
Yeah.
Like it's trying to essentially be the couch experience both ways, and all the levels are designed in such a way that everyone can fit on one screen. So I feel like players are more connected when they're not split into different screens, I think.
Agreed. So, on Steam, on the subject of Steam, I would like to bring up something not Project Appleyard or Duck Game related. Guys, I've been waiting for Mortal Kombat X / Mortal Kombat 10 / Mortal Kombat the new one for a long time. I've been super excited. So, I've actually... I waited up all night last night with the full knowledge that today I'd have to get up super early and go to the set. I stayed up super late until after 1 o'clock PST, 1 a.m. PST, waiting for Mortal Kombat X to drop, Mortal Kombat 10 to drop. And it did, except that it didn't. See, on the Steam release, they released the ability to download, like you preload the game. So, okay, they designed the game in so much, insofar as you download the structure of the game, and then it streams in you download the rest of the content as you play.
It sounds sketchy.
But then but it's basically, they let you play part of it, like single, but the gag is, what you got when you preloaded was the base system, like without any game at all. And the idea was, once the game went live, you'd be able to start playing as it downloaded the rest. That, in theory, actually works. I get it. I understand conceptually how that works. It's really good. Like in PlayStation, some PlayStation games you start downloading, you can start playing them before they're fully downloaded.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm with it. I was super excited about it. So, unfortunately, it only works if Steam and NetherRealm agree on when it's time to actually launch the game. And that didn't happen. Yesterday at about 8 p.m., Mortal Kombat was available. So I downloaded it. Or I didn't download, I preloaded it. I started the game. And every time I tried to get into a match, it would error out and fail. So I restarted, thinking, it's probably a thing. I installed a new graphics driver. It's probably that. Nothing. You go to training, it black screens and fails. But you can go to menus, you can customize your character, you can do all this shit. But the minute you try to play, literally crash out to the desktop.
Like where it would pop up and say, you need more data or
something. Right.
Yeah.
Or Yeah, exactly. Like give it 10 minutes or like now downloading whatever. It just crashed, completely bailed. So I went online to the Steam forums thinking, well, okay, there must be a problem. Turns out the game wasn't meant to launch until midday today. So Steam actually, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna blame fucking Steam. I'm gonna blame Valve. Like somebody across the line had the dates wrong, the time wrong, and NetherRealm didn't release any information until midday today. But all night long, everybody's trying to make they're all thinking their PC's broken, drivers are wrong, whatever. So I stayed up until too late, a little early in the morning, trying to get Mortal Kombat 10/X working, and it did not work, and it sucked. And the reason I stayed up really late last night doing that was because I got these fully modded game like fight sticks that I modded myself using multi-platform mods and all kinds of mods inside. But it got to the point where for my Xbox One and PS3 or PS4 rather, I was out of my depth. Like I'd modded. They can play on Super Nintendo. They can play on anything. And I'm like, this is.
But it wouldn't. You couldn't get it to.
I didn't know how. And I was just. I'm busy. I'm making a video game. I'm making some TV spots and stuff. I can't spend the time doing this.
When I bet it's too like you'd want like a dev console or something to be able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like it's something you'd sign an NDA to be able to learn.
Right. So what I did was I found a guy who he's like, oh yeah, no, I just do this. And oh, you got these mods installed? Cool, I will add this. And I was sending the sticks off today. So I wanted just a couple hours playing with more, but no, fuck it. Now my sticks are gone. It's
nothing. You don't get none of it.
So that's what we did. That's that's Mortal Kombat X Steam thing. So hopefully Duck Game is not going to follow that method when you release it.
I mean Duck Game's Duck Game's probably 10% of the size of the stub you would download for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true.
It's funny actually. Like I had a early download experience as well with PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So I hadn't played Wolfenstein: The New Order yet. And it came out on PS4, and we had just gotten one, so I was like, okay, that's cool. It says it can download in like an hour or something. I can wait that long, right?
Yeah.
And so you download it, and then you get into the game. It shows you the first cutscene, cool. You play through. You don't really do any playing. It's like, yeah, push R trigger to slide and stuff like that. And then the plane crashes, and then it pops up and says something like the game's not. It doesn't have the data. It goes back to the main menu and just says it doesn't have the data. And like all you get is like 10 minutes of cutscene at the start of the game. And so I go online and I'm searching and everybody's like, oh yeah, the stub that you're allowed to play, like they did a really bad job on it because it doesn't give you nearly enough time to actually play anything.
Yeah.
So like everybody who plays it, right, all it is a bad experience because it says, okay, there you got the opening cutscene, now you have to wait 4 hours for download. Why would you even have early play if that was what the experience was going to be?
Yeah. That's a mess. Ugh. So yeah, don't do that for Duck Game. Starr Mazer is not going to be that big either. It's going to be big, but it's not going to require preloading or whatever. Look at all these. Everybody's suggesting Duck Game.
Yeah,
stuff.
I still want to make. I remember you'd asked a little while back. I think Buzzkey or Cerberus if I made a taco hat yet, and I haven't, but I still want to. I haven't got around to it. It's been lots of running around trying to get everything done so that when the game comes out, it's not like full of holes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of other news that we can like kind of run through since we were last here. Good news. Austin Montville's game Sports Ball. It's one of the lore, the fictional characters, Swift Thornbrook, which is a character that I actually created for the lore. She's the one in the commercial. It's played by Mariah. She's actually going to be featured in Runbow, the upcoming game Runbow.
Oh, cool.
Swift Thornbrook is one of the named characters. Shovel Knight, Swift Thornbrook. There's the the Rusty from SteamWorld Dig. All people from the eShop, like games that you get from the Commander Video.
Commander Video's everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere. And then Command Girl Video, they're both in it. Check out Swift Thornbrook from Sportsball in Runbow as an additional character. Brick is not in Runbow, not yet. It's not an eShop, not an eShop game yet. Starr Mazer. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but last week Nintendo mentioned that Unity will build for the 3DS, which is information that we knew already. Haha. But
I didn't know. I was excited to hear that.
Well, we were excited to hear it as official because they were like, we're talking about doing a thing. Anyway, Turtles wants to know what's Sportsball like. I haven't had a chance to play. Sportsball is a combination of joust and soccer. So you've got football if you're European. The gag is to take a whole bunch of really cool birds, birds of different varying design with different play style, and joust at each other while when you hit a guy, he turns into a little ball. You got to put the ball into a hoop. It's pretty cool. It's like Smash, said Bold Big Flag. It is like Smash. It feels a lot like Smash. In fact, Sportsball and Duck Game are very similar in their sort of couch co-op crate stuff. They're not similar in their mechanics, but yeah.
I feel like a lot of people like I know Smash inspired me because it's kind of a game that I really like, but I really don't like. I think there's a lot of problems with it that keep me from being able to enjoy it. But at the same time, just like running around with 4 people, the camera zooming in and out, and everybody kind of like dying and coming back over and over again, like it's an amazing thing. And I feel like a lot of indie developers get inspired by that, and they're thinking like, man, I want to make a Smash Brothers thing that's like totally different, but kind of like gets that local multiplayer experience, right?
That's very Duck Game. Like Duck Game has the crazy that you like. One of the coolest parts of Duck Game is not, or to me, it's not just shooting guns at one another. Like that's the baseline thing. It's novel way, like finding guns that can only shoot once, or that require a long reload period, like a musket or whatever. That you have to like put the thing in and like load it, and it's a whole big thing. That's a really cool thing. The net gun is cool. The angle laser is cool. Like those are cool experiences. Watching the whole world kind of erupt in crazy. That's interesting. Way more interesting than just shooting each other. Like every game is just shooting each other. Duck Game is really neat that way.
Honestly, like the development for Duck Game was kind of a game for me, and that's what led to a lot of that stuff happening. Is just we would play it, right? And it used to be just the essential, like shoot pistols at each other. That's fun, right? And then it got to the point where it's like, well, I'm getting bored of that, right? What if you could like change somebody into a crate somehow and then throw them around like you could do a crate? Well, if you had a net gun, then like that's pretty much what that would do, right? And it was always stuff like that where every time I got bored of what the game had, I would try to add something that let you do something that was impossible before. Like you can convert a duck to your team, or you can like light a duck on fire, right?
Yeah. Cool stuff. You can control a duck, like hypnotize a duck.
Oh yeah. You can practically swap your inputs so that you control them instead of yourself, and just do something embarrassing with them and like jump them off the level, or into a volcano or something like that.
It's really cool. It's very cool. So today we spent the day coming up with cool, cool fight choreography and stuff for our spot for Duck Game. What else were we going to talk about? We had lots to talk about. I wanted to take a bunch of questions from you guys. It's been a couple days since our awesome gameplay. We played... Did you see what we played on Saturday? We played Night Trap. You ever played Night Trap?
It sounds familiar.
It's a full motion video game.
Oh my god. Yes, I've definitely heard of Night Trap.
Have you played it?
No, I haven't, but it's one of the FMV games that I came across when I was looking them up.
I think you'd be surprised. I was surprised. I played shitty FMV games, like crappy full motion video experiences. Night Trap is not one of them. Night Trap was actually, you can see what they were doing, and it makes a lot. The whole thing plays out in real time. It just plays.
So it's like a proper FMV game instead of just a series of videos.
Right. The videos all. So the idea is you're in a house, and you've got cameras all over the house. These like creepy people set up cameras all over the house, an event happens, and everyone dies. Unless you trap the guys that are sneaking into the house, these like weird monster guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so the thing will play out, and if you're watching the actual story, you're missing. You have to crack. There are like hundreds of these guys you got to trap. If you miss too many of them, they abort and you fail.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of dies. So there's this awesome scenario where you only get snippets of the story ever because you're like going from camera to camera to camera. And if you pay attention to too much story, you lose it. But sometimes the story has like information that you need to keep going. It's actually really good, man. It was the Turtle Spence. Night Trap was Five Nights at Freddy's, but better. Yeah, dude, it was good. I was stunned at how good it was. I was shocked. I was always told that it was crap and it was like exploitative and stupid and terrible. And we watched a documentary for it about the dangerous games, the story of Night Trap. When you realize that there's nothing seedy or untoward about the game at all.
Yeah.
There's no nudity. There's no sexual innuendo. There's literally none of it. It's the cheesiest like '90s TV show shooting ever. But they made it sort of this scapegoat, and it was the dumbest thing. There's nothing wrong with that.
So like just here's a couple screenshots we can use, kind of thing. Like take them completely out of context.
Yeah, it's a game about raping women. But there's no rape in there. There's nothing fucking sexual in the whole game. Like it's.
But like some guy was having a bad day and just frickin' decided
to do the work.
This is the game. We're gonna like just shit all over it.
Yeah. Yeah, and as says it was about as violent as you can't do that on television. Yeah, no, it was totally. Exactly, it was completely like PG, super PG. There's a girl in a nightgown at one point. That's it.
Ooh.
That's as far as it goes. So yeah, no, it's actually really good, and I think that everyone should try Night Trap at least once. It's a viable experience. You gotta NS Man said people need to judge it with an open mind. I think you need to judge it with like the idea that you can be entertained.
Yeah.
Like, stop judging fucking everything. Like, just go. When you go into an experience and you're just super like, well, it's fucking stupid, it's pixel graphics and it's fucking. But you just all you're doing is disallowing yourself to enjoy something.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with enjoying a thing?
I feel like I get times where I think I get a little bit of joy out of just hating on something for the sake of hating on it, right? And then later you're like, well, like that could have been really great actually if I'd just given it a chance, right? And go back to it. Like I think every movie that I've ever gone into where everybody was telling me it's super awesome, right? Almost all of them end up disappointing, right? Because you get yourself hyped up and then you're judging every little thing that happens and you're saying, oh, well, this movie's not so great. It's like, well, it is if you like went in not expecting it to be the best movie in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. That's what we did last time. It was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. I just wanted to know if you'd ever played it, and you hadn't. So
no, I've kind of stayed away from FMV games for like the very reason that a lot of them are very bad, right? So
yeah,
I really like the concept of them, like watching a bunch of like not very good actors do silly stuff in a bunch of different scenes. Like I love that. But it's more something I would go to YouTube for, except for in the case of the game you're talking about, what actually sounds like a fun game. Like
the mechanic was fun. We had a bunch of people around. Maybe it was that we played in a group. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello.
Will you join us on the show for a moment?
Sure.
Vanessa is here.
Guys?
Yeah, come hang out.
We all kind of played as a group, and it was pretty cool. And we just had a blast, like a super blast. We ate pie and played. We ate pot pie and played.
Oh yeah, the pot pie was amazing. Pyro was here.
Pyro Insane was here, and he made pot pie.
Pyro Insane?
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's one of the guys on our show. You never watch our show.
I'm a busy man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Duck Game Release has been keeping me from doing a lot of things that I'd like to do.
Hello, Turtle Spence. How's it going? And Cerberus. Hello.
I think Cyber Akuma. The reason people compare Five Nights at Freddy's and Duck Game. No, not Duck Game. Nobody's ever done that. And Night Trap is that
Until now.
They're compared because they're both real time. You're watching not real time, but I think the premise is the same. You're watching video cameras and a
like security camera.
Yeah, security camera game. But yeah, they're completely different, and yeah, I don't know, whatever. blah.
Oh, there's a security game cam? I've never played Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's only security cam, just like we're doing in Night Trap. You're watching the video cameras from outside.
I think though, like I don't like when people draw weird comparisons between different games. Like I've gotten to the point where I don't really think too much about that because like a lot of people really like drawing comparisons. Like Super Puzzle Platformer, which is a game that I did music for. It's a game where like blocks fall from the sky and you jump around the blocks and shoot at them, right? But everyone would draw the comparison. Oh, it's like Tetris, but you've got a guy in it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's not really like Tetris at all because there's no line mechanic, there's no shaped blocks or anything like that.
Tetris in it. It's the don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Shake your box.
But yeah, but people they like to draw comparisons, right? And they don't really think anything. They're not trying to like be hurtful with them or make you think like, well, my game's not like that at all. Like, they don't get it.
Yeah, you know what's funny is Motivational Growth, my feature film, which just came out on Steam, by the way. It's got a giant console TV in it, and when people would compare, they would be like, "Oh man, you're like the new Cronenberg," and I was like, "You mean David fucking Cronenberg? What? You can't call me that. Like he's incredible. I'm just this dude." They're like, "Yeah, well, the movie reminded me so much of fucking Videodrome." I'm like, wow, because that's like a trippy ass movie, and my mind is blown up. I can't believe you're saying that my movie reminds you of Videodrome, because I fucking love Videodrome. I'm blown away. I'm like, yeah, it's Videodrome. It's basically like the modern take on Videodrome. I'm like, but I made my movie, and I know that it's nothing in any way like Videodrome, even a little bit.
But
and
like just the thought that this thing you really like and someone's like connecting it
that's really
anyway.
cool. But you know what I found, and this is the tricky bit? It's because there's a console TV in it.
That's it. Like
That's all. Literally, there's a console TV in both of those movies, and they're kind of featured in both of those movies. So they're the same movie, effectively. Like that weird comparison thing you're saying, that happens.
Yeah.
Like,
like it's got blocks, so it's
Tetris.
like this block game.
Tetris game.
Yeah, I always thought the Cronenberg comparisons to your work were more to do with like body and like technology.
Yeah.
I don't see like you aren't using like Ian didn't become part of a television and he I don't want to give away the plot, but there are other things that happen with his body, but it didn't feel Cronenbergian. Cronenberg-esque.
Yeah. No, I think it's there's a TV.
Yeah.
Big console television. That's
that
it.
Sucks.
And Cybercoom, I'm kind of making the same point you are. He said the only real similarity is that you monitor security cameras. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's like saying Metroid Prime is basically fucking Call of Duty.
There's a trap button.
Yeah, well, like Mario, right?
Yeah.
It's like every platform after Mario is just a Mario
It's just
clone.
a Mario clone.
But like, I guess like the Prime gameplay is the same, but everything else is different. It's not the same at all.
Yeah, but there's so much like you can do in between. It's like there's so much you can do outside of like the base level of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like they're talking about somebody who's reviewing games, NES games and stuff.
Oh yeah, they're talking about the AVG and the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Oh.
By the way, guys, I hate to say this. Maybe I should do this because we post these to YouTube. So we're Twitch streaming. We do post them to YouTube, so we're kind of YouTubers a little.
Slightly.
And I think it's totally
sort of
okay for me to say that I hate the Angry Video Game Nerd. Not because his platform's dumb. I think the platform's fine. I think the concept's good. He's just really bad at it. Like, he doesn't sound... He just swears a lot.
Yeah.
But doesn't do it in, like, an artful way.
I think that's part of the charm.
It feels... There's nothing charming. It feels like he doesn't know what he's doing or saying. He'll pull a box and he'll pull it very hard from the wall and be like, really? And, like, throw it on the ground for no reason. It's just poorly acted and poorly presented. And I don't get the charm.
I haven't seen it, but
I kind of get it. Because, like, I really liked it, but that was a long time ago. And, like, the ones that I've watched more recently, right, they haven't changed much. Like, it's doing pretty much the same thing. So I can see what you're getting at, that, like... That
his shtick is just that he's, like,
right?
irrationally unhappy with things. And I think people watch him review things, but he doesn't review them in an interesting way. He just hates everything and does so stupidly.
Yeah, whereas like Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation.
Yeah.
Like, he hates everything, but in such an awesome way. Like,
A very good
rips the
way,
shit
yeah.
out of it.
Totally.
And that's exactly... yeah, it's like that without the dissecting.
Peanut Butter Gamer. You ever see that guy?
Yeah.
He reviews things and often thinks things are ridiculously stupid, and he makes me feel really. I enjoy watching him. I feel like I'm being entertained by a guy. He's making funny jokes. He's got it's all thought out. The editing is really cool. It's not just some guy being random. I don't.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah, there's definitely like there's a lot like higher quality YouTube stuff out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Much higher
like,
quality than AVGN.
AVGN's, I think it's like it's of its time, right? It came out at the time when YouTube was like everybody got kicks out of some dude set up a camera and they're filming themselves, right? And it's like, oh, we could do that with our friends and stuff like that. Yeah. But I feel like YouTube's developed into more of like almost like a television station now.
Sure.
Like everybody needs to put a lot more effort into
There's production value, that you need to have.
That's true. Oh, thank you. I got a compliment on my shirt. I'm wearing my Back to the Future shirt, which I often wear for production because it's a sweatshirt and it's kind of warm and it makes me feel cool. So thank you, Rafa. That's really nice. I'm excited for our shoot tomorrow, actually.
Tell the show about our shoot tomorrow.
So tomorrow, what can I say?
We're shooting a thing.
We're shooting a thing. It's going to be outside. There's going to be physicality involved. There's going to be people dressed up as characters from this guy's game. Can I say anything more?
Whatever you want.
They will be live actioning some elements of the game. So there will be some fighting, and we had to like get a cop and stuff.
Hey Kazuo,
so
do you have a picture of the things?
Yeah.
Can you bring it up? I'm just gonna show
things.
The things.
The things.
We're just gonna flash it up just to see what's.
Of course, the things.
We're gonna show you guys the thing. It's gonna take a few minutes.
It's gonna take a few minutes. But yeah, we had to just so people, since we're gonna be running around with some various weapons, we had to hire a Seattle City cop for the day so that people don't think that things are happening that aren't actually happening. So yeah. It's gonna be really cool.
Fuzzy Ski asks Landon, where did you get the idea to put a quack button in? It's the single greatest game mechanic of all time.
It's funny, actually. That happened very, very early in development. Like, I had a prototype running in Game Maker with, like, 3 or 4 levels in it, and just pistols and shotguns. And I was playing it with some friends that I had gone to school with, and we were talking about different stuff that you should be able to do, right? And that was before I decided the wacky angle on it. And one of my friends actually said, like you should be able to, like, quack, because, like, ducks quack, right? And it, like, made a lot of sense. I don't know. Like, ducks do quack, right? And why shouldn't you be able to quack in a game that, like, it was pretty much a friend's idea, and it helped aim the direction of the game, because the game then became more about sort of, you're a duck, you might as well be able to role play as much as a duck as you can. Like, you can quack, you can flap around, you can, like, die and have feathers fly out, right? It's a duck simulator if the universe was people who are ducks who need to fight each other in a virtual environment.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So guys, you should ask some questions. We have a cool guest. We have a cool game we're making. We had a big meeting a couple days ago. Or is it just yesterday? We had a big meeting yesterday about Starr Mazer. It's pretty incredible. About our plans for demos and stuff. Yeah, bunch of cool stuff. You guys should ask questions. We're here for you. I'm gonna eat. Vanessa actually got me. She went out to the store and bought green tea mochi, which I'm going to eat on the show.
So, what is mochi? Is it pretty much
like green tea ice cream?
It's just ice cream?
No. It's wrapped in rice paper thingy. It's got flour so it doesn't stick. And now it's all in your beard. Good. It's basically just green tea ice cream.
Yeah, there's a lot of flour in it.
Yeah. Service wants to know if you're the only guy working on Duck Game.
Yeah, I am.
Only one.
It's just me. I prefer to do it solo because I really like creating systems and like just random, like the idea of, oh, I want Duck Game to have like water, and water can pool and fill up, and like it could be lava and water can mix together and stuff like that. Like excites me. Like I really like making that kind of stuff, and I want it to work just in such a way. So, like I always, I like working on teams, but with something like Duck Game, I feel like it would slow down the process too much. So, oh my God, Cerberus, that's.
Rex 705 says you're notch.
I love Minecraft.
Minecraft's pretty great, man. Alright, so...
Minecraft's the best game in the whole world after Spelunky.
What's the best game that's out in the whole world?
Well, that...
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff coming out still, but I can't know until I play it.
Yeah.
Like, I need to play Starr Mazer. You need to let me do that. Yes.
I Might Be Long says, okay, I've been asking since Mag, but when can I get my hands on Starr Mazer for a review? When there's a Starr Mazer. We're still working on it, man. We're going to have some... I think starting next month, we'll be having a build a week internally, and I'll start showing some of those builds on the show. So, yeah, there you go.
I got the graphic queued up if you want it.
Guys, check this out. This is for the thing we're doing tomorrow for Landon's Duck Game. Are you guys ready? Check it out. It's going to happen between our heads. Move over, Landon. Let's just get space. Look at that. What is that? Oh, my God. It looks like something that we're going to use tomorrow. This is the worst song ever. It's okay, right?
Yeah, no, it's a good song.
Yeah. No, not the song. Can we move back in the middle? What are you doing?
Just making it bigger.
Cool. All right, cool. Then we can get rid of it. That's it. That's all we showed.
Yeah, I didn't know what the image was, so.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of looking over there like, what are we excited about? It was the head stuff. Yeah. Super awesome head we got set up.
Yeah, that's the shot we did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm really excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be neat. It's gonna be a cool day. We're trying to pack a lot of action into a one thing, one day shoot. It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah. It's gonna be busy day.
Cerberus wants to know: are there gonna be any silly games in Duck Game, like a gun shooting cows or whatever, like a gun that shoots cows? Like cows come out of like a cow gun.
I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay. So, Cyberkuma says, so that was supposed to be a heads up of what's happening tomorrow, and I wonder if he's being cheeky. Because it's heads. Heads up.
Yeah, puns are fun. I like puns. I actually, I feel like I'm the wrong man for the job when it comes to duck puns and things like that, because people around me, like when I'm talking about Duck Game, they're always making duck puns, and like half the time they'll like do a duck pun and it'll just go like, and then they'll be like, well, I just did a duck pun, didn't you notice? Like, kind of embarrassed that I didn't. I really should have.
You didn't even know what an appleyard duck was. Nope.
I like ducks are my favorite animal, but I've never bothered to really learn any more than that they're horrible pets because they're disgusting and they poop everywhere.
They are disgusting. Did you try to have one?
No. I thought of having one at one point, but then I like looked into it and it didn't take long for me to decide like no, not unless I'm on a farm one day or something.
Yeah.
Because then I can live outside.
Yeah, there's an irony in that the area we're shooting the thing for tomorrow is actually overrun with geese. Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah, there's goose poop everywhere. It's just geese. The whole place is geese covered.
Oh.
Yeah.
I noticed it smelled a little poopy in some places. Mm-hmm. That must have been the geese.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't even like. Were they like making geese noises the whole time? Cause
no, I think they left in the morning, and also that smell was probably not the geese. It was that there are also a bunch of homeless that live there.
Oh.
In little nooks and crannies. So, yeah.
Pretty good place for that, I guess.
Yeah.
Lots of spots.
Lots of coverage from the rain and stuff. So we're going to be taking over tomorrow. We're actually being very careful as to not be too invasive. We were careful not to piss anybody who's like living there off. The only person we pissed off today in our setup was some girl who decided that she was going to sit at one of the pillars and like have her day at the pillar. And we went talking, she huffed and puffed and stormed off. So she's like an upper middle class lady, it's fine.
Was that the lady like right when I got there where we went over to the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah, we showed up and she was kind of like, what's going on? Everybody's kind of like talking around.
She went, and walked away.
Yeah, she was her day was clearly not.
We
not
ruined
what
her
she
entire
expected.
day.
Yeah.
We went and had a bunch of conversations in the public place. That by tomorrow is not actually a public place anymore because we rented it and we'll have a cop there. We'll be like,
That's so crazy that you guys like rent these like super crazy nice places out and get a bunch of cameras there and do all this. Like I can't even imagine like the amount of steps and work that goes into setting up something like this.
it's been 2 weeks of setup so that tomorrow can like go. We don't just show up.
No, well I can't. If you just showed up and everything was like that in place,
Yeah.
that would just be a miracle. I can't imagine how that would work.
So do me a favor. Let's talk about your experience so far with Imagos.
Oh yeah, cool. Okay.
I'd like to hear from an not outsider. You're like my friend now. We like hang out and play games and stuff. But
Yeah.
there was a time when we didn't know each other, and I met you at IndieCade,
Yeah. You said I was a bit of a dick.
and you thought I was kind of what?
Yeah. We were. It was an interesting experience because he showed up and I was tired from showing the game all day, and he's like getting all excited like, yeah, we're gonna do a spot for you, and like I was thinking like this is the most energetic guy I've ever met. He just go. I bet like when he goes away, he's not even gonna remember who I am. He'll just be like on to something else, right? But at the same time, my first experience with Imagos was actually the Potato Man Seeks the Truth trailer.
Really?
But I did not know that was Imagos.
Ah.
Or Imagos.
Imagos,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so bad at that.
It's okay.
It wasn't until the Jazz Punk commercial came out where I watched that and it was like, my God, like this is insane. How did they get a commercial so cool, right? Like how does an independent game developer get the coolest commercial ever? Like it was unreal to me. It made no sense, right? And then started to like realize, it's this place called Imagos. They do these commercials for Adult Swim and they do all these side projects and all this stuff, right? And then when you came up to me at IndieCade, like more than anything else, I was just thinking like the guy who made the Jazz Punk commercial is telling me that he wants to do a commercial for my game, and it's like that is the most unreal thing I've ever heard, right? Like that my existence would somehow like cross with this super cool thing that I've seen, right?
That's incredible. That's incredible because my experience was totally different. I was a fan of Duck Game. I'd only played briefly on an Ouya and seen all kinds of videos and people were talking about it. And so I went to meet you and was told by one of the Ouya dudes that you were off doing a thing and you weren't, they didn't know where you were. So I came back like a while later and you were like, you had just stopped by, but you were off doing another thing. So like I was already preloading the like, oh, this guy is too
He's
fucking
like networking everywhere.
Yeah, he's so busy. He's so cool. Whatever. And then I met you, and I think you were super burned out, and you were like mega. I mean, you're already pretty chill. Like by default, you're pretty chill, but you were like, oh yeah, oh okay, oh yeah, and I was like, man, I wanted to like meeting of the minds, like creative people talking, like we interact now.
Yeah.
I thought we would be like, hey, you're doing a really cool thing. We're doing kind of a cool thing. Let's try to do cool things together. And you're like, oh yeah, no, that'd be great. And I was like, you're an asshole.
Oh.
But you're too cool for us all day. You're gone the whole way. I didn't really, whatever. But just a weird like.
I get it, right? Because like you don't meet someone, you don't know what they're doing, why they're not there, right? And
Yeah.
like that's just my personality, right? Is I'll be excited about something, I'll get down to it, we'll like talk ideas and stuff like that. But then like every other moment, right? I'll just be chilled out, not like trying to think of something to say, but more happy, just kind of like hanging out.
Yeah.
Right? And like that was a time like that, definitely, because like after a full day of just doing like playing game with people all day, right? That's pretty much what you do at like a place like IndieCade. I don't want to leave the booth.
Right.
Ever. I'll only ever do if someone's like, we should get lunch or something like that. Otherwise, I want to be there. I want to see people playing the game, right? Because like you can't get that anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite thing to do is watch people sit down with Duck Game and figure it out for the first time.
That's really cool. It's really cool. So then it was how long? It was a while between IndieCade and us actually starting to work on Duck Game, right?
Yeah.
Like a while. I knew that it was on the docket for some time this year. We're talking about IndieCade last year. We're talking. It was 2014
Yeah, it was,
IndieCade. Yeah.
Yeah, the previous, the one that happened just last.
Yeah.
That was in like October. So.
Yeah, it was in October. We hadn't had our whole full docket for this year laid out. We knew Duck Game might be on the docket. Finally went through, and I think I contact. How did we get?
Yeah. That was I know what you said to like mention to Adult Swim that. You guys wanted to do the spot.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying.
Oh my God, you're right.
So I emailed them and I was like, I talked to Don, like the Jazz Punk commercial guy, and like I really wanted to do the spot. And Steve emailed me back. It's like, yeah, we really wanted to do it too. So that
what's interesting about that is we hadn't signed yet our master services agreement with them. Like we didn't know what spots we would be doing. We didn't realize that we would then be the guys who did all the spots for them. Like we were still like kind of working it out, and so eventually we were told, Duck Game's coming down the pike, like get ready. So that was pretty neat. We met up, we talked online, we pitched a bunch of ideas. Then you came down. You came down for Westerado.
Yeah, I came, and that was actually like that experience was unreal. Like I watched the film
that just came out, so like you can tell them if you want about what your experience was there, because
that like the filming of that Westerado thing. I expected like I've never experienced proper filming like procedure before. I only ever like filmed random stuff with my friends and assumed it was a little more professional than that, right? But I showed up at the Westerado thing, and like they've got a building dedicated to this, and there's so many people walking around, and they all have super specialized jobs. And this guy's in charge of like explosions, and this guy does the lights, and this guy does the sound, and then somebody has to monitor on a screen on the outside. And like they've got this big room that looks like the Wild West set up, right? And like some guy that Carl is responsible for coming up with all this stuff, like making this set and getting all these guns and props and like just the amount, like it was unreal. I was completely blown away on that day, and I was like, man, these guys are I can't believe they can get this all organized.
Well, we did. It was awesome. Cerberus has a question. Question for Landon: what costume hat should I make for your Duck Game sprite? Oh, custom hat. Sorry. So he's making a Duck Game sprite. He wants to know what hat.
I don't know.
I'm gonna interrupt for a second. Think on it. Hey, Kazuo.
Yo.
I need you to index all that equipment that we've got. We just got another shipment.
Okay.
Vanessa just came in with some boxes. Check that and make sure we have everything or don't have everything. I need to know before the next hour in case
Before the office closes?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Sorry, guys. We're preparing for tomorrow. Just so you know, I'm sure you know this already. When we do shooting, most of us, in fact, everybody in this room, Landon excluded, actually, like Vanessa, we all, Kazuo as well, Josh, Mariah, we all actually do film stuff as well. So when there's a shoot day, we stop being Imagos Softworks and start becoming Imagos Films for a day. What's really interesting about it is there are also people at Softworks who are only Softworks. Who are like, Austin doesn't stop working on the game. He's been working on the game all day, even though I was off, setting up a thing. So yeah, there you go. Vanessa tomorrow will be a DIT, which is a digital imaging technician. She will manage all of the data flow. Kazuo will be the first assistant camera guy. I will be the director. First AD. I think Mariah's acting as second now.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Man.
Anyway, that's where we are. So, somebody suggested that you make a duck hat.
Yeah, V for Vendetta sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
What are you making it for? Is it like?
Just for fun. He gave us a bunch of Starr Mazer sprites.
Okay.
I think he's learning how to do sprites
sick.
a little bit better, and he's really like improved even in the time. I've only seen 2 or 3 sprites, but from the time he first started till now, like he just did a Declination Jane sprite for Starr Mazer, and it was pretty great. It was like, wow, man, you're getting this.
That sounds
putting
sick.
it together.
I see that they've also suggested a pizza hat. Now, I need clarification because they say she's Pizza Hat, but she's pizza is a slice of pizza who wears a hat.
Yeah, she actually has her own hat.
So she has her own hat. Do you mean the hat she's wearing, or do you mean her, or do you mean like a slice of pizza as a hat? Because
there's 3
there's
separate
so many
options,
different
yeah.
ways
Yeah.
that can work. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, just do something completely unexpected with it.
Yeah. Do a Cthulhu hat. Do a Predator mask. That'd be cool.
Cthulhu pizza.
Do a lightning bolt.
Well, like technically the hats in Duck Game can have like body parts, so it could be like a pizza body still.
Oh, I like that.
There you go.
Instead of the poncho, you could have the pizza. Just saying.
It's no actual poncho.
There's no poncho in it?
No.
It's the worst.
No, the only duck that has like a chest part of the hat right now is I actually did a duck for Bob Mills of Ouya. He's like one of the co-founder guys, and he's got like an Ouya hoodie on. So
Oh,
nice.
that's cool.
it looks really silly when it comes off though, because it's like this floating pair of eyeglasses with like a floating hoodie below it. But I mean, I don't care how it looks when it comes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turtle Spin says a She's Pizza hat wearing a hat that She's Pizza wears.
That's like, yeah, Inception if I've ever.
You could have the She's Pizza hat, the one with the slices on it, that has a figure on it of She's Pizza wearing the hat.
Did you guys
And
see?
then that also has.
And it keeps going.
Just keep going. Infinitely tall.
Did you see Lilo?
Yeah, I tried to zip her in.
Yeah, but was she being that adorable?
She's being ridiculously adorable right
I'm
now.
amazed she stayed there.
Lilo is being adorable again. Every time we get on the show, Lilo is super adorable. If I seem a little low energy, guys, it's because I worked all day. I'm pretty tired. I got up super early, and I was up all night trying to get Mortal Kombat X to work.
It's true.
Yeah, that sounds like a crushing experience.
I haven't really eaten a ton today. Vanessa brought me a cool lunch at the set, but it was
no good.
What do you mean it was?
I mean,
not
it's good, but it wasn't right. I'll know better next time. I'm gonna get it right.
I didn't say any of this. I just said that she brought me a cool lunch. What is the issue?
But you only ate like a fourth of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
I can
So-
understand that though. A lot of
Yeah.
times I think I'm hungry and then I only eat like a fourth of what I make. So
Yeah.
Fuzzy pointed out that there's a brick.
There is a brick.
There's a brick.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome.
yeah, I'm super pumped that I can have brick because I don't like putting references in my game for stuff that I don't like, but I really like Starr Mazer. So
Nice.
I think it's super cool that you guys are like letting me put him in because like he's one of my favorite hats right now. Like every time I play right now, I play as him.
Oh,
That's
really?
so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
Do
cool.
the hats like change your abilities at all, or are they
No.
okay?
No,
they're just for
completely-
show.
I kind of wanted to make it so that like Brick's cigarette could fall out and like light fires and things like that, but it probably won't because that would be too cool. Everybody would want to be Brick.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Everybody would
What's
be
wrong
like,
with
Brick's
that?
OP, Brick's broken, no Brick online.
Okay, so Landon, what kind of games do you take inspiration from? Turtle Spence wants to know. Inquiring Turtle Spence wants to know.
There's like different kinds of inspiration I take from different games. I think one of some of the games that inspire me most is like the original Sonic games on the Genesis inspire me as art pieces, as like just a lot of cool graphics with cool environments and super kick-ass music in front of it. Like I think that was my first big inspiration as a developer, is just the presentation of those games. And then after that, just the idea that a single person or a small team can make something so big and moving. Like I think one of my favorite games is Cave Story, like by Pixel.
Yeah.
And he pretty much did like that himself. He wrote the tools, he made the music, he wrote the tools to make the music.
Yeah.
And then this game comes out and it's huge and the story is amazing and you finish it and you're sad when you finish it because it's over, right?
Recently, Axiom Verge is very similar. One dude over 4 years makes incredible game. Axiom Verge. We played 11 hours of it.
Oh my god.
11 hours on the stream two Saturdays ago.
It just came out recently,
Yeah,
didn't it?
yeah, and it's good. And it's love. You can tell. The guy who made this game,
Yeah.
Thomas Happ, loves it. It's incredible.
I'll have to
Yeah.
play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it, especially if you like Metroid or any
Oh,
of
yeah.
those kind of games where you gotta like. And Don obsessively would like dig at the wall and stuff and constantly be finding like all the cool little like hidden things.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, just go to the next level. And he's like, no! It was pretty.
And I found a bunch of secret weapons and stuff that nobody would have had if we hadn't done it. So
That was my biggest disappointment about Sonic compared to Mario, is that like when I'm done with Sonic, it's over. There's no secrets anywhere, nothing. And then Mario's practically 10 different games, right?
Yeah.
There's like a million different things you have to do, and secret things, and things you could only figure out from like your random friend who has played a million hours of Mario before.
I found I ran into this problem with Mario where I figured out like in the first Mario and in the third one like how to skip like 5 levels or like skip a lot of levels, and
with like the whistles there.
Yeah, with the whistle, and then with in the first one you can jump over the top and like go down a tube and then you're way further along.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know how to not do it after a while. Like my brain was trained, and I was like, how did I end up in the tube room again? Like I'm not trying to skip, but I keep doing it. But it's really neat. And I can totally understand replayability is like so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, like having something that people want to return to.
Yeah, some reason to play it again because you know that it could be different this time, even in the smallest way, right? Just to give you some reason to... Because, like, I mean, I still play through a lot of old games that I've seen every nook and cranny of every now and then just because I want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I don't think I would do that with a lot of those games unless there was a reason to play them more than once.
Yeah.
Fired Chrisick says, hey, what's up? Hey, Fired Chrisick.
What's up, man?
Also, hello to Cross Trooper. I'm glad
Fired
you
Chris
figured
UK.
out how to get on here. Seems like he was slightly worried that we were like an hour late.
We're not an hour late.
We're not an hour late.
We're actually 10 minutes late. Mostly on time. That's great.
Almost on
Probably like
time.
11, really.
11 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 minutes late. So yeah, Citizen Cybertron says, games made by single creators do my head in. As much as I've always wanted to, I can't imagine I'd ever be able to accomplish such a creative feat. He's talking about you. I'm sure as hell not doing it. I got a team of 10 people.
True.
Well, at the same time,
Slacker.
like, I get the same kind of thought looking at someone like Don who can set up and organize such a, like, big group of talented people. Because, like, all my experience, right, it's, like, if I set up a group of people, usually there's people I like who, like, maybe aren't the best for specific things, right? And then, like, I'll be like, oh, yeah, cool, you should do this for my game, and then it, like, doesn't come out right because I'm not organizing it, I'm not getting the best people for the job, right? Like it does my head in to think about how you set up big groups of people, so I think there's, like, sort of both ways.
Got it. Yeah. Kazo, what's that box?
This box?
Yeah.
It's from Japan. It says used games.
Whoa.
Can I have it?
That sounds rad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
I got everything as far as GoPro stuff goes except one screen.
Okay, so that's coming in a separate shipment, I'm sure.
Can I say one thing, too?
Yeah, please,
Just-
of course. Say
Just
anything.
about the single game developer thing, like...
Keys or something? Oh, I have keys. Go ahead.
Like, I don't think you should stuff like this. If you sit down and, like, think of every little thing that has to get done before the game is finished, like, your head will explode. Like, just the amount of stuff that, like, I work every day to get this stuff in, right? But it's not like I'm a machine or anything. Like, it just takes like if a game takes a year, right? All that time is spent, like, where you think, oh, it's got to have controllers, it's got to have music, it's got to have, like, all these levels, and all those levels need art. But it's like, you know, that doesn't all happen at once. You do a level here and a level there, and a lot of times you'll get through a lot of the game and decide that you don't like the way it looks, and you'll start upgrading the art or making the music better, right? And you do it bit by bit. And that is how I think that individual people are able to make big things, is just by iterating and sort of chipping away, right?
Sure.
It's like a big stone. It doesn't happen overnight for
Right.
sure, but I think anyone could do it if they're persistent and dedicated.
That's an excellent point. I would like to point out that Landon actually is one of the most consistently working people that I know. There have been plenty of times we couldn't meet or couldn't get together or even talk online because he was busy working. So even though he says I work every day but I'm not a machine, he does work very hard every day. Like that's the important note. So yeah.
And a lot of it is you gotta want it, right?
Yeah.
You need to want to make a cool game. You need to want to make a cool art. You need to, if you kind of don't really if you get a lot of joy from it, I think it'll just come naturally.
Yeah.
You need to follow what you get joy from, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm going to use that as a transition. I got some joy from Japan. I met a guy online who had some stuff that he wanted to send. So I'm going to open it up. We're going to check out what he sent.
You met a guy online, huh?
Oh, yeah, I met a bro online.
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest things that a box in the mail could say.
It's like from Japan, fragile video games.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Look at this. It looks like I got
Oh my god.
some Hue cards
What?
and some Super CDs
Oh my god.
from Japan.
Are these like gifts or are these like being borrowed?
Oh no, these belong to me now.
Oh, they were perhaps even purchased.
Look at this business. We've got Bomberman 94.
Oh man.
We got a copy of Bomberman 93, which is incredible. But
So it was like Madden for a while?
it was. They all had different features and stuff. Look at they put little bubble wrap between each one.
That's so
terrific.
cool.
Bomberman 94 Hue card. Look at this. Oh yeah, dope sound.
What the hell is that for?
What?
Is that for Virtual Boy or something?
You've never seen a TurboGrafx 16 game?
I know.
It's actually a PC Engine game, but my modded Turbo Duo plays both. Let's play a game. I'm going to show you something. I can't believe you just freaked out. You've never seen a Turbo Chip. Here.
No.
This is a Turbo Chip. It's actually a Hue card format. These are still being used today, not for video games though, for satellite cards. This is actually the only important bit. The rest is just
Oh,
plastic.
that's so cool.
You've never seen a Hue card before.
No.
Oh man, it smells like Japan. Lots of nice and smoky.
Ah.
Oh.
Ooh. Smelly
It's all there.
Japan.
It's very Japan.
Oh yeah, that's a lot more.
It's very, very Japanese.
It's a good smell.
Don't go through them yet. I'm going through them.
No, I'm busy.
Did you just say, quote, no, I'm busy?
Yeah.
Here, we've got Deep Blue. Incredible game. Well, fun game. Oh, cheap.
Oh, it's not.
Oh.
The package isn't as.
I don't have the
But they did put a nice little like.
Seymour. Yeah, well, these actually are traditionally part of it, but they normally have the Seymour slip. But he put some bubble wrap. That's cool. I'm not gonna complain. Guy gave me a bunch of games. Space Harrier, which is an interesting game, guys. Space Harrier. This is a sort of third-person running shoot 'em up.
There's kind of a mammoth on it.
They're kind of, yeah. A little bit of
Almost.
that. Space Harrier.
I,
Yeah, Space
I'm a
Harrier's
huge
classic.
fan of
Yeah.
mammoths.
PC Engine Space Harrier.
Space Harrier's on everything, eh?
Yeah. Cybercross. These are all actual Japanese. Oh, look at this and the
Whoa.
Seymour slip.
So did you have to mod it to run Japanese games? Or?
I did. It's modded. Fucking Twin Bee. Because Twin Bee is required. It's such a good game. Do you like Twin Bee? It's a shmup game. Original Konami stickers from like 19 whatever.
God,
Look at that. That's the best.
Maybe too.
Oh god.
It's like dated.
Twin Bee fucking stickers.
Oh my god.
That's the best thing. I didn't expect that.
Why would somebody not keep those?
Keep the stickers, yeah. That's the best. That's super the
Maybe
best.
they really hated Twin Bee and they were like, fuck the stickers.
And
Get
then-
out of my home.
The Legend of
Crap on
Xanadu.
Yeah. Exactly.
Legend of Xanadu Super CD. So, there's a CD. There's the manual.
CD.
There's the other manual. And then there's nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, Super CDs tended to come in double cases, and I
Just
don't know
for
why.
fun, to be bigger, to be giant.
Look at how badass I am. It's a Super CD. Anyway, there you go. Got some cool stuff from Japan. We'll be playing some of these on the show, for sure. So, I hope you guys are excited about that. Twin Bee stickers, yeah, SMN, that's incredible. Twin Bee is the best.
I'm really bad at scrolling shooters. Yeah, I suck. Thunder Force are my favorite.
Thunder Force is incredible.
They're not even that hard, but I'm bad at them still.
I hope you're gonna like Starr Mazer still.
Oh, I will. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really played a shoot 'em up that's been like super polished. They've all been old. Like I guess Thunder Force and things like that are, and I still play them like a lot. I just have never passed them. Also, I liked Jamestown. Jamestown was super cool.
Yeah, very nice.
I still haven't played that.
We're gonna play. I think 4 of us need to play it. I think that's the gag. Is we
Yeah.
need
Oh yeah.
to play a bunch of people. Playing it 1 player seems to be fine. Playing it 2 players was shitty. I hated the experience. I hated it. I hated playing 2 player. It's not, in my opinion, it is not balanced for 2 players.
Like it's a 1 or 4.
It's a 1 or more than 2. like a less than 2 or greater than 2 experience.
Yeah.
The revives were too far apart. So there were too many of them at the wrong time. They were too far apart, distance-wise. If there's a third player occupying a portion of the screen, I can see how you get that revive.
Yeah.
But it's always like, there are 2 people playing, Bulletstorm, revive in the middle, and there's no, it's dumb.
Yeah, it pretty much ends up being like, if you were alone, I guess you could coordinate better, but when there's 2 people, it's like you're fucking each other up enough that the spaces between revives just ends up getting you killed more than anything.
Yeah, and also there was a lot of weapon stealing, like upgrade stealing, and it wasn't mean. I'm saying gold stealing for your Vaunt stuff.
Yeah,
but it was I'm not sure it was malicious, but they're magnetic and.
So a lot of times it's just kind of accidental.
Yeah.
Everything goes to you. Sorry, I didn't even want it.
Yeah. Cybercoon wants to know how you feel about 2-stick shooters like Geometry Wars or Beat Hazard, like twin stick.
Twin stick stuff's super fun. Most of my twin stick experience actually like Robotron. Robotron's kind of a twin stick shooter, right? Because it's got the 2. It's
the
only like
original
8 directional.
Shooter.
Yeah, I played a shit ton of Robotron. I like Geometry Wars. I haven't really played enough Geometry Wars. I actually haven't played Beat Hazard. I've only watched videos of that. But it looked cool. I mean, the music seems really good.
I've got a really great concept for a twin stick shooter. It's a really awesome mechanic that I've been trying to do. I actually wrote before I wrote the Starr Mazer game design doc, I wrote the game design doc for this particular game. I've kind of been looking for somebody to to hire out, I guess, to build it, really directing it. It's a really cool game that I've been wanting to make forever. It's fully voiced and has a really cool story, like a cinematic story. There's a movie that goes along with it, like a feature film that goes along with it. But there's a mechanic that is really neat that I've never seen done before, and I wanted to kind of explore it.
Well, I'm curious to hear about that later.
We'll talk about it offline, because I'm not allowed to talk. Rex705 says that you should play Descent on the stream. Yeah, of course, yeah. Yes, it's going to happen. I need to modify my Mad Catz Panther XL to have...
TM.
Pardon?
TM.
Trademark, yeah. No, I need to modify, not the Panther XL itself, but to modify the drivers for it, to do what they're supposed to do.
So you must love doing that shit then, like writing drivers and modding things.
Yeah. Shit yeah.
That's super cool. I should get you to teach me a bit, because...
Yeah. I used to be a roboticist, and I had a, you can actually, I think you can still find it online. I had a, not-for-profit called Bots for Tots. We taught inner city kids how to make robots, because inner city kids don't like the idea of like learning to read or doing math or like learning social skills, but building the shit out of a robot, of course. So let's build robots in groups. It requires math and learning and reading and social groups and blah 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 blah.
That is rad.
Yeah.
That was always my problem with school. It was like, yeah, okay, we're doing a bunch of learning, but none of it's relevant to what I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, they give you the math, but they don't tell you why the math is there, why it exists. They're just like, do this hard thing for no reason.
Yeah.
Get good at it. We'll give you some grades.
Yeah.
You don't get to build a robot.
You'll feel belittled by your peers doing better than you at the thing you don't know why you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, like, should I be embarrassed by this, that I'm, like, designing levels on grid paper instead of doing my math homework?
That's fine. I think we all did that. There's a game I wrote called Speedball. This is before I realized that a speedball was like a drug thing. Because I was a kid, who knows? Speedball was actually a, like, pinball platformer.
Wait,
what?
is there YouTube videos and stuff of that?
I don't think so. Why?
I swear I've heard of Speedball and I've seen a pinball platformer before. And it blew my mind.
I know that there's a game called Speedball that's a twin stick shooter, which is funny because we're talking about that, but it's kind of like a Smash TV thing, I think.
Okay.
But
so how did your pinball thing work then?
Well, it was, the gag was basically, granted, remember, I'm like 13 when I'm coming up with this, so I'm not super novel. It's effectively Mario and Sonic together. Speedball would run around. He was a pinball. and he lived inside this pinball world, which is basically Tron. Like, instead of being inside of video games, they were inside of a pinball machine. Then you could travel through this using this device to become electrical impulses. They could travel to other pinball games. So there's always different themes.
Yeah.
You travel into like the volcano pinball game or the whatever pinball game. And what would happen was like they would communicate, they would talk, there'd be like simple platforming shit, and then when it got time to like, let's do it, he would roll up into a ball and then pinball around and like you play pinball. It was this cool concept. I wrote a comic book. I still have the comic book. I wrote a comic book about Speedball. I designed all these characters, and the gag was it was Mario and Sonic and Mega Man. So when Speedball would defeat a bad guy, and the bad guys were always themed, like Spider Ball or like Bat Ball or Robo Ball or whatever. And there was like I think 55 of them. They were ridiculous. Heat Ball, and he would get. What are you laughing at?
I'm like listening to you talking about all these balls. I don't know.
That's not even. I don't even. But so you would you'd be able to take on, but it wasn't like Mega Man in which you could select. Like you defeated Spider Ball, you get the Spider Ball power, but you'd have that until the next time you powered up.
So you'd switch them every time.
Yeah, you didn't get to like pause and pick one. Like whoever you just defeated. Sometimes it would suck because it'd be really easy to get the bad guy and really hard to get out with his particular power, but then you could approach another guy.
Yeah.
Very easily. And
so then was it sort of like it's important the path you take through the game, like where
Yeah.
you go first
Yeah.
and then who you go to next? That's super cool. So like the experience would be you start and be like, well, I'm gonna go get Spider Guy first this time because
Right.
I went for Fire Guy last time and he was like really hard.
yeah,
so.
totally. But there were like 55, and I used to draw all the levels on grid paper, like just work out like what would be the coolest, like how do you get to platforming, and you could pop out of the ball at any time, so you could pinball up and then pop out and grab a ledge and pull yourself up and jump and then speedball back into it.
Yeah.
It was basically what I wanted from Sonic. Sonic felt like the minute you balled up, you had no control.
Yeah, when
you
you're
had just
moving
like
around.
really loose arc control. But Speedball was different. You would get into this place, you'd hit a bumper, and you ding 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 and like fly off, and then you'd be able to like pop out of it and have like instead of like 10% air control, you'd have like Mario style air control.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
That sounds rad.
So yeah, that was the thing. It was kind of the.
It's funny. Just a note on Sonic is like it's funny. Everyone says, "Well, Sonic used to be better, right? Why don't they just make what they used to make? It would be good again." But like game design wise, Sonic never was good.
No, I don't think it was.
I think it was art and music. Everything was art and music, and like the design was just. It was a vessel for going between different pieces of art and music.
I totally agree with you. I've actually tried to play. I have lots of nostalgic memories for Sonic, and I've tried to play it, the original, like I think first 3 games, a bunch since. I mean, the reason I had a Genesis 3 for a while, and I didn't play it. And I saw a Genesis 1 available, and I was like, I got to get this because the sound's much better on it.
Yeah. Oh, they wrecked the sound.
And I need to play Sonic. So I got rid of my Genesis 3, got a Genesis 1, which is now in a fucking, it's right there, collecting dust.
Yeah, I noticed that. I scout for those over there.
Well, I have the Retron 5 now, so it's, it collects some dust. But I put my Sonic in, I'm like, let's go. Sega! And it's, you run forward a little, and you hit a thing and wait. Well, Sonic goes ding ding, everything ding 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 ding. You just wait because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, there's no skill. The arcs are all weird. The run mechanic, it takes forever to get running. It's yeah.
I've played through like I'd say Sonic 3 has the most solid controls and Sonic 2 has the most solid level design. But I've played all 3 games like 20 times each, and I'm still not like. In a good game, you feel like a badass by that point, right? Like you do this and that. I know this part. I know that part. Sonic's always just like a stupor, like I like this song. This is a good song.
So Cerberus created the Mega Man duck. I think we should check it out and have a look at what that looks like.
Holy crap! That sounds rad.
He just finished.
Nice. So Kazuo is gonna actually throw this onto the stream for you guys. I just checked it out. It's cool.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
Good job, Cerberus. That's amazing. He did that while we were talking. That's really great.
Yeah, man, when I see like the ducks in different colors like that, it makes me think there should be some way to do the different colored ducks. Because like right now, you can only do like orange and yellow and white and black, right?
Yeah.
And seeing ducks like that is like, man, they look kind of cool in green.
There he is. Recommend Duck.
That's so cool.
So I'm pointing across your face. We're doing a fictional thing because he's actually to your left.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so he's
because
right
it's
there.
like we're in screen space.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm so you should look over there. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's so good. It's very nice.
Can't frame it quite right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna disappear for a little bit and do a little bit more work
Okay.
while you guys are chatting.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we're going to
see
be
ya.
gone in 38 minutes. It looks like we got.
Cool.
We're gonna actually Landon and our crew. We're gonna go get some dinner,
Burgers.
burgers,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be pretty great.
Yeah.
Nice.
At some local place called
Red
the
milk.
Red Mill, which I don't know anything about. Might be very cool. Whatever. Fuzzy says goodbye, Vanessa.
Oh, goodbye, Fuzzy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sonic Generations was okay.
Was it?
Yeah, people always say it's really good, and like, it's definitely like of the Sonic games that have come out recently, I think it does the best job. But I wasn't able to get too into it because, like, at the end of the day, the 3D sections always like I just don't want to play them. I don't like the 3D sections. I feel like they're like sort of all the chaotic bouncing around that the old Sonics had, but at the same time, they're somehow even more disorienting.
There's something about Sonic that I always thought. I'm gonna say something you guys might hate, but you should have gotten this by now. You should have figured this out. I'm actually a Bonk guy.
Bonk?
Yeah.
You mean the caveman?
Yeah. He was the mascot for the TurboGrafx.
He was?
Yeah. You don't know anything about the TurboGrafx?
I know fuck all about the TurboGrafx.
Wow.
Well, that's not completely true. I know there was a handheld one. Do you have that?
I have it. I
You
have
do?
two of them. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Let's do this. When we're done with dinner, we're gonna come back and play some TurboGrafx.
I'm pumped.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, do you like educate me for
Yeah,
sure?
I will. I'll face you. So anyway, I was a huge Bonk fan. I liked his theme. I liked his controls were cool. His transformations were awesome. Mario was awesome. Sonic was also awesome. I wasn't, I don't have to like pick one. But I think Mario and Sonic, Mario had great game design and was an incredible mascot for his game. Even though I think Mario's theme and his design show you how good the game design was, because effectively it's just a plumber. That's not interesting. I mean,
yeah, he doesn't hold up on his own at all.
no, at all.
Yeah.
If I were to say something like what about Bill the Fireman? Like that's not a
Like, that's hardly my favorite character. but
nobody can.
Fireman
I
is-
can't imagine Lucio the draftsman is an interesting like character, but Mario the plumber. It's literally your brain has to like disconnect the idea that it's this iconic thing.
I think it
and
does.
recognize it's a plumber. It's a
Yeah.
guy like the trash guy.
But it helps
or
a lot
the
that you
fucking
never really
draftsman.
see him plumb ever.
Right, ever. There are pipes, that's the thing. But I think the game design shows you how well it was made by making that character iconic. Sonic was an iconic character himself. Like, he was a well-designed, cool art character, and he was speedy, and it was all about Sonic. I think there was this weird thing where Mario was the de facto mascot, and Sega then made a mascot.
Yeah,
They didn't make
exactly.
a game. They came up with a guy who could beat Mario.
Oh, they
That was
totally-
the gag. And I think that there's a lot of marketing and energy that went into that, which tricked you into not realizing that the game sucked.
Yeah. What I mean, like,
Or I'm sorry, the gameplay sucked. 'Cause
Yeah.
the music is undeniably great. They were trying to get Michael Jackson to do music for that.
they
That's-
got him.
That's a marketing.
Man, Sonic 3, they
Yeah.
actually, like, he's not credited, but it's, like, confirmed. Some of the tracks are his. Like, the Ice Cap zone's his, the Circus zone's his, he does the Sonic 3 end music.
So the gag is, at that point, they're not like, we have a game that's so good, we need Michael Jackson. No. We need to market the hell out of this game.
It's
Like, that's what it is.
whole image entirely. Like, look what this hardware can do. Look at all this stuff that we've gotten together onto this system, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, honestly, I think, like, playing Genesis and playing Super Nintendo, like, Nintendo had all the game designers. They were
Yeah.
all over there. None of them were on the Sega Genesis. Like, there are very few Sega Genesis games that are well designed, but you can find like dozens of really well designed Nintendo ones.
Yeah, agreed. I'd like to point out, somebody asked if Bonk would work in Smash Brothers. If Bonk was in Smash Brothers, I'd be the most OP Smash Brothers player. Bonk would be incredible in Smash Brothers. He's got all kinds of crazy stuff. I would love to see Bonk in Smash Brothers. That would be the best. If you put Sonic in it, he was like the joke character in Smash Brothers.
So it's funny because Sonic, like, when I play Sonic Smash Bros., it seems like they did a really good job converting the character, because I kind of just, like, fall off the level all the time because he's fucking zooming all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, I can't even play as this guy. I can't control him.
Right. Cyber Kuma says, yeah, unfortunately, due to the whole Sonic attitude thing, there was a giant boom of attempting to create attitude animals in the early 90s. Bubsy, Awesome Possum.
Oh my god, Awesome Possum was so lame.
Yeah.
Awesome Possum's the lamest character ever.
Do you guys remember, Ristar?
Yeah, yes.
Or was it Rystar?
I always call it Rystar.
I have no, I don't think it was ever pronounced to me. I think I just ran with it.
I think that's what I called it when I was a kid, and I just stuck with it. I've never actually heard someone be
Neither
like,
have
no,
I.
it's Rystar.
Yeah, or no, it's Ristar or whatever. Yeah.
I loved that game.
That was a cool ass game. And I'm just thinking of, like, that had cool game design.
Yeah,
It was a neat
good
character
design
with
and
good design.
music.
Yeah, exactly. It looked good too. So, Sonic it suffered. Rystar is right, I think. NS Man says. You do realize that Nintendo opened an official write-in ballot so you can vote for characters you want in Smash Bros. Yeah, I do, but Cyber Kuma, I would be one of two people that said Bonk should be in it, and the other guy would be doing it ironically.
I'll back you up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So 3 people, 2 of whom doing it ironically. You know,
I more just don't have any stake on getting.
I'll show you
characters in
Bonk
Smash
tonight.
Bros,
It'll be
so-
great.
Okay,
Cool.
maybe you can sell me. Maybe we can put 2 not ironic ballots in for Bonk.
Yeah, it's good. He's a cool character. I got all 3 as well. I got Bonk's Big Adventure, which is so cool. Man, Bonk is so good. It would be cool if Shantae... Cross Trooper says it would be cool if Shantae or Shovel Knight were in Smash. Yeah, it'd be cool if Brick were in Smash.
Man, seeing Shovel Knight in Smash, I think would be like, I think that would be huge, because that would be like an indie game character in a Nintendo.
Look, I'm going to tell you a
right?
thing. This has nothing to do, and I'm dead serious. This isn't a leak. But there's nothing. I'm not. Hold on. Somebody said leaks and posted an image. Oh, it's leaks on his head.
Leaks.
Thank you, Cerberus. There's 0. I've never been indicated to me. It's never been indicated to me that Shovel Knight would be in Smash Brothers. I am not implying that at all. I can tell you that while I was at Nintendo, there was some information about Shovel Knight that crossed that line. Not the Smash. Nothing. I'm being dead serious. Nothing. Don't fucking. I'm not saying Smash Brothers, but there was one of those things where I was like, "Oh, you would do that with an indie game?"
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the
There are a couple
idea that
things like
Nintendo
that.
would even. Right?
Yeah, and so we're in the offices and we're checking things out, and they're like, and then this is gonna happen, and I'm like, wait, what? You would do that with an indie game?
Like you've
And-
even acknowledged its
yeah,
existence.
yeah,
right?
holy shit! You're gonna like go that far. So I think that there's possibility if you have a great game. Shovel Knight is a mascot. He's a clearly beloved game. It's all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up in places. Again, I'm not confirming or what's funny is watch him show up in Smash and everybody's gonna think Don was. No, I
Don't leak that.
No, I leaked nothing. I literally know.
I totally agree with you. Like, just it seems like the way they're going that could happen.
So
That's what I figure.
Quantum Feeling says, I don't think anyone obscure is going to get into Smash Bros, but it would be cool if they made a bunch of more assist trophies. So I'd like to point out, Quantum Feeling, that I don't know who half the fuckers in Smash Bros are. They're all obscure.
Isn't
to me,
Commander
man.
Video there? I'm
Commander
pretty sure
Video
he
in
is.
Smash
I'm pretty
Bros.
fucking sure he is. Commander Video, there's like
he's
a
in
trophy
everything,
and you can
yeah.
rotate him around.
He's literally in everything. No, the gag is, I don't know who... What the fuck's a Shulk?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, it's like...
Is Shulk not obscure?
My roommate made it a lot more clear to me that, like, that JRPG market, like, the people who play those games, like, a lot of the characters are just, like, they're anime characters, right? So it looks, this dude's got different hair than that dude,
Yeah.
this guy's got a different sword. But like,
they're super famous in Japan or
I
something?
think it's Japan. Yeah, it's just like there's a lot of people don't know who the heck these people are, but then a lot of people are like, yes, I can play as like this other guy with a sword,
with emo hair. I hate to complain about Mortal Kombat X again, Mortal Kombat 10, but
it must have hurt you bad.
it did. Okay, so I am the world's largest Predator fan. To me, the Predator is like third only to like Mad Max and Judge Dredd. Like, then there's Predator. And I know that the Predator is referred to as the Yauta in their solar system, but they refer to themselves as the Hish. I know that they have they breathe an 88% methane mix for their like, and I know too much about the Yauta. And
well, that means they could live on Titan.
Mortal Kombat X has Predator in it, and fucking being in Mortal Kombat as the Predator, that's like a moment. It's got my Mortal Kombat,
that's huge,
giant thing for my child. Predator, giant thing for my childhood. Put these things together, but it didn't fucking work.
Soon, right?
Yeah, well, I could probably play it today. We could probably play it tonight, you and I. Except I don't have my sticks. They've been sent off to fucking get modded.
No, that's shitty.
I don't even.
You have to play with a controller. That's not how it works. You don't play fighting games.
Von Osborne, there is no Mad Max remake. That Fury Road is a sequel. It's not a remake, dude.
Speaking of those movies you mentioned, did you like the new Judge Dredd?
There's no old Judge Dredd. I like the Judge Dredd movie, Dredd 2012, one of the greatest films ever made on Earth.
Yeah.
It's an incredible film.
Yes, I agree. It's really good.
It was not a remake. It was not. It's Judge Dredd. The other thing was like a weird cartoon bullshit that they made in the 90s.
I haven't even seen it. I knew
shit.
Judge Dredd existed before the movie.
Yeah, Dredd 2012, one of the best films ever made.
It's really good.
Not one of the most like artistic film. It did. So when you're making a film, I'm a filmmaker. So this is a thing for me. When you set out to do a project, Duck Game. Duck Game is not Depression Quest. You're not going to play Duck Game and answer a personal question. It's not Papa and Yo.
Yeah.
You're not going to go into Duck Game. You can't expect that of Duck Game. You can expect what Duck Game promises. And to me, in all honesty, the last build of Duck Game we played delivered far more than the expected promise of Duck Game. It was bigger, better. The background changing, that was all awesome. More guns, more. It hit every fucking note you can hit in Duck Game. Dredd 2012 hit every note you could. Here's the setup.
Yeah.
Everyone's hit. Every single note is hit. The next one, if you move it out of Peachtree's and put it somewhere else, you'll have a new setup to hit. But it set something up and hit every note. RoboCop, not 2014's RoboCop.
The first RoboCop.
Original
right?
RoboCop hit every possible note in there. Mad Max, the first one, original Mad Max, didn't. It set up a world and failed. George Miller's original Mad Max failed miserably. It's one of my favorite films, but it failed miserably to exploit entirely that universe. It tried to be too family-oriented, not for the audience, but Max had too much of a family life, too much of a police precinct, then it tried to make it the best, like, racing car exploding movie. It couldn't do it. It failed.
Everything it was.
The Road Warrior. This is the premise. You're gonna go over there and blow everything up on the way. Go. Fury Road is a chase. It's got an 88-minute chase sequence.
That sounds really sick.
That's what it is. It's gonna hit every single note. That's what. If you set out to do the thing, smash your expectations, but don't do anything but that. Starr Mazer. One thing we keep doing as a team. There's 10 of us. We keep falling into this sort of like, not in a negative way. This is during our creative meetings.
Yeah.
Like, well, we could do this and invent this thing and invent that thing and this big pill. Fuck all that. Is it a shmup? Is it a point click? Do those cool things and do them the best. All that other stuff is valuable. Save it for another game.
Yeah.
Duck Game nails it. Judge Dredd 2012 fucking nailed it. Just nails every little moment you can have in there. The bad guy was great. It was just so good. Yeah. So. There you go.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan. Somebody asked Link or Toon Link. I'm a Toon Link fan. Link is cool, but I like Toon Link.
I play as Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I actually the Mii Fighter, and you can get that like move where you just like latch onto someone, punch them a million times. I just like spam that. That's my game.
I'm super into Mega Man. If you know how to like appropriately zone with him. Like I realized that trying to do my like offensive game in that was ridiculous, and I just got to get my ass handed to me by everybody. So I just played like for every time Keppa from Rocket Cat would come over and we would play games. And you know, Vanessa or Josh or whoever was here, Kaz, we would all play, and I just the entire time I watched them beat the shit out of each other, and just played a game where my job is to not get hit. My job is to not get hit. My job is to stay away,
Yeah.
and every once in a while throw a crash bomb and wait for it to explode. Try again, wait for it to explode. Do that.
And that's working out for you.
Well, I would lose because people would get more points. They'd be bringing out everybody.
But you wouldn't.
I would
like,
die. So once I figured out how to like you jump at me, and I would jump and then immediately rush out using rush, like rush
Yeah.
coil out, or I could jump and just as you're coming at me, I could rush coil the work out. I would jump off the edge of the stage, and you'd come and you'd aggress, but I'd rush coil over you and then catch, so you couldn't join out.
That's dirty.
Like just learning that zoning,
Yeah.
that evasion first, and then starting to annoy from distance. Mega Man started becoming clear. Like the characters started making sense.
Yeah,
And
like
then I
it
started-
plays like Mega Man.
Yeah. Then I started adding one or two more things, right? Like I would jump, but then when I would land, I would ground pound. Like, you know, the fist,
Yeah.
the dive fist. I do the dive fist and connect 10% of the time, but every time I connected, dude's going off the screen.
Yeah.
And then I just started adding things. I added, I started annoying from far with the metal blade. I started annoying with some other stuff, and then I figured out the rainbow, like the quick lance, and then the fire fist, and just started stacking them.
Holy crap.
So it's an evasion game, but when you engage, I have a plan. I've been watching you play your game until you come near me, and watching your arc and imagining how I'd respond only to that.
Yeah.
Not do a change up, not get in there and knock a combo, none of that. Just zone and zone and zone and zone. Stay the fuck away. And I'm not at the point right now where I'm dominant or can like completely win. But when I do engage, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
As opposed to like get in and hit some things and hope the thing works, or find some guy with with a sick combo that you can just keep spamming. Like,
Man, you just sound like you're a lot more like tuned for fighting games than I am, because like
Yeah.
stuff like that is stuff like that I'd never even think of, right? Like I'd see you kicking my ass with all these tactics and stuff, and I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. I can't get a hit off on him. I push the punch button every time I'm close to him, but
Yeah.
he doesn't get hit.
he doesn't get hit. He's so Mega Man is so shit up close. In Mortal Kombat, I play Smoke, and I play Smoke because there are 3 levels of play you can play with Smoke. There's the play to win level, which is easy to break if you know how to block, but a lot of people like avoid that. So I'll stay on one side of the level and just throw smoke bombs at you.
Yeah.
You throw a smoke bomb and then you fall into a pit and fall in front and just uppercut. So it's smoke bomb, uppercut. And if you smoke bomb right as they're getting up, they can't block it. So it's smoke bomb, uppercut, smoke, and you just as a loop.
Oh my god.
And I'll play that, and the moment you break that cycle, we're gonna play now. So I'll smoke bomb, and you'll block, but while you're blocking in one direction, I'll teleport to the other side and hit you from behind. And I
so
just,
brutal.
but
It's like playing StarCraft online.
it's super easy to do if you just keep holding block. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
can totally foil it, and you can punish me because I hit you in the back and go flying.
Yeah.
But once we get past that, if you're gonna continue on, then I'll get into the kick game because he's got a really awesome kick game, and then I'll phase through you and whatever. There's all kinds of, but you stack these sort of. To me, it's just finding methods and then stacking those methods together. When I play Scorpion, it's like punch punch teleport punch punch teleport punch teleport punch. It's just this. It's Scorpion from all angles.
Yeah.
And I find that in Mortal Kombat alone, since the block is really woogee, like it's not super tight. As long as you ride that block button, you can break almost anybody's
Yeah.
really cool system.
It's
Yeah.
cool. Like hearing you talk about like sort of how you break apart the fighting games makes me realize like that a lot of like what you like in fighting games is kind of what I like in RTS games. Like I could see the crossover.
Sure.
Because where like you figure out something that works, and then when someone breaks it, you add on to that, right?
Yeah.
Like in an RTS game, I'll really like this, and I'll like be turtling with this tower and using this unit, and then somebody figures that out and they start doing something else, right? And so then you're like, well, this is a good strategy, but it also needs to be modified a little to have this on top of it, right? And it's just this big game of, okay, they know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Now I need to learn a tactic to
Right,
counter that.
Something
right?
novel to like puncture that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Borg. Like you can shoot them once, and then they adapt, and you have to like come up with a new way to shoot them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we haven't been paying very much attention to these guys, but they seem to be talking a lot about Smash themselves, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other questions?
Phoenix Wright should be in Smash. That would be sweet.
Yeah, I totally. Turtle Spence says, Don, do you play Skullgirls? I wanted to play Skullgirls. I downloaded it. I had a really cool config for one of my sticks or whatever, but it looks great. It's a beautiful game. I don't remember how it sounds, but I remember it looking really good. But it felt slow, and I've been told that it's super tech, and that like an actual game, like fighting game enthusiast would fall in love with it. Unfortunately, Mortal Kombat is like my favorite. I think Kazuo is the better like fighting game enthusiast, and frankly, I found Skullgirls to be a little sluggish, and not as flashy as perhaps I'd wanted. I like flashy. I like fast. I like tech, but not requires 900 hours of my time.
Yeah.
I got pretty good at Guilty Gear Xrd in one night, and that was fun. It's flashy and beautiful to look at, or whatever. So no, I've heard of it, but I've played it once. I should probably give it another shot, and I know that Kaz and I were talking about maybe playing it at some point, so I'll definitely give it another shot. I just felt that it was a bit sluggish. Clovis15 wants to know whether or not there's been any publisher news. On Monday we sent a question out, like whether or not there was any news from the legal department. Apparently the contracty thing is still illegal, and it will come out sometime this week is the plan. Once it comes out and I've signed a thing, all kinds of news. Don't you worry. I'm not gonna like hold anything back. God knows I have a difficult time holding anything back when I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ennis Man says, I used to play a ton of Capcom vs. SNK 2. That was really fun. That was a cool game. I like that game a lot. Capcom vs. SNK 2. You're not super into fighters, are you?
Oh, no.
What's your favorite RTS?
Red Alert
2000.
2.
Oh.
No, Red Alert 2. Red Alert 2 and StarCraft 2 is my least favorite RTS. For the
I-
very same reason as the Skullgirls thing that you said, like, StarCraft 2 is old technical. I don't have
Yeah.
any fun with it
Yeah.
other than that.
Remember? No, I'm not. So this is funny because like I've played RTS games, and I can call out 2 or 3 that I like super played and had a good time with. But I feel like you've probably played some fighter games and can call out 2 or 3 that you played and kind of enjoyed, but you're not like super into. Dune was incredible. I think that's a lot of nostalgia talking, but it was the first,
Yeah,
so there was
it's still a
nothing
fun
like
game,
it.
I think.
Dune 2000 I actually really liked. I thought it was not.
It's
not
impossible to play now, though, unless
Is
you
it?
like install XP or
Bad. What about DOSBox?
DOSBox. It's not DOS. It's like it's in that weird transitional phase.
Oh,
where, like,
it's a
you need
Windows
95 or
game.
98 to run
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
Those poots. I liked. Obviously, Command and Conquer was cool. Did you hear my Command and Conquer story? Did I tell that ever?
Which one? I mean, I don't think I've heard any.
This girl, one of the coolest girls I knew in high school. Oh man, she's gonna find this video.
Uh-oh.
She's gonna find this video.
I think you'll be fine.
This girl was so cool. She came to one of my Halloween parties once dressed as grapes. That was her costume was grapes. It was really cool. Anyway, she was house sitting, I think, and she invited me over to her place. And I don't think I would have ever been able to be like attractive to her or anything. I think it was always just purely platonic because I'm just me. But she was like this really cool girl. But she brought me to this. She had me come to this dude's house. I was gonna hang out with her as she house sit.
Yeah.
It's just be me and her hanging out at the dude's house. So I went to the dude's house, and I don't know how it started, but I ended up on his computer for some reason. I was kind of a gray hat back then, so anytime I had access to somebody's computer, let's do it.
Take it.
Yeah. And he had Command and Conquer installed. I never even heard of it.
The original Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
Command and Conquer.
Command and Conquer. This is a while ago, man.
Yeah.
So I started playing Command and Conquer, and she kept going, let's go do this, let's go do that, and I kept like, nah, I'm really into this. You don't mind if I play this, do you? She's like, well, and I'm like, I want to play. So there's this very attractive young woman. We were teenagers, but something tells me biologically I should have been far more into like trying to parlay that situation into something reproductively successful.
But instead,
I played Command and Conquer.
Just took it away.
It took it away. It took it away.
It stole it from you.
It did. I don't think there was an opportunity. I think she would have been like, "Get the fuck away from me." But no, I screwed up hanging out with a friend for sure.
Yeah.
Having any kind of good time with a friend, that was kind of crap. So if you're watching this,
There's time for
Kate,
games.
I apologize for that time I played Command and Conquer.
I actually fucked up a few friendships playing Age of Empires when I was a kid. So.
Really?
Yeah, because I had the demo, and I would like go to my grandma's house because she had a computer before we did. I would just play it every day. I would go there and I would play the demo, that one demo scenario they gave you, over and over again. And one of my friends who invited me over, they had the full version of Age of Empires, and I like, at that point I was like focused. That is what I wanted to do, right? And I would like. I'd do token like, yeah, let's go to the park and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, can we go play some more Age of Empires now?
I did that same thing accidentally. Not accidentally. When you're young, man, you don't get it. Like, your brain doesn't do the like social thing.
It doesn't realize how fucking rude you are.
No, it has no idea. So I feel so terrible at this. I met this kid. I don't know how I met him, but we went to his house. He was the youngest, I think the youngest brother, and his other brothers were like really physical, and he was not. They were like, I think they were building an extension of the house or something. They were were doing like dude things.
Going around like hop two,
yeah,
2x4. And
he was. We were both a little overweight, computery dudes or whatever, and they were like, they would make fun of us or whatever. But I came over to his house this one time, and this is where it starts, guys. This is the whole thing. I went to his place. He lived in a very expensive place. His family had. They weren't at work. They were busy building extensions to the house. Like they were.
Like that was their work.
Yeah, they probably had work. You know what I mean? But they had money, and they were really cool. They had Descent 2, installed on computers in multiple rooms, in multiple levels of the house, and it was just like we played Descent. Like, it was incredible. My world was changed forever. Like. I'd never played a multiplayer game.
So, Descent against somebody on another computer in the same house. Yeah.
Yeah. Yelling at each other, pounding on the floor. It was incredible. So, I would go over to his house and we'd play Descent.
Yeah.
And I think he was using it as like a little, you want to play Descent? When really he was asking, do you want to like hang out and be my friend?
Yeah.
And I was like, let's play Descent. And then it got to be like his parents, they had a nice giant pool and all this cool outside stuff. And he wanted to like eventually like, you want to go ride bikes?
Yeah.
No, I'll play Descent.
Not really.
Do you want to like jump into the pool? No, I want to play Descent. And you forget, you don't forget. You don't understand when you're at that age that like you're missing out on other like Descent's not going.
Yeah,
I can play Descent now. I'm 35. I can play Descent now. There's a new Descent. They're making a new one. I don't think I'll ever see that kid again in my whole life.
Yeah.
I missed an opportunity with a friend.
Well, it's because like you're a kid and you're just thinking like
kid,
this is what I like. Why would I do anything else? Right? Why would I try to find anything else if this is just fine for now?
Yeah. So I had one of those moments too. So that girl. What such a cool girl. We were in band together. We hung out a bunch. She was so neat. And then I fucking went into her house and played the house she's house. Played Command and Conquer. It was incredible. It was the worst. I was the worst like idiot. I didn't like socially. I was socially such a jerk. Like not.
I was pretty bad too.
Not intentionally a jerk. I think that's the thing. I was shocked once to find that 2 people that I hung out with a bunch in high school referred to me to a third as an asshole.
Whoa.
And this was years later.
It takes some work to get that.
And I couldn't work out why. And then I just was like, let me do this. And they said it like a passing thing. They probably don't think about it. I don't exist.
Yeah, like it's
right?
not like they're just constantly like,
no, I don't give
your
a shit.
nemesis. And
right, yeah.
Damn Dawn.
But I heard that and it was like, fuck. Like this is my whole world. What did I do?
Like this is my people's impression of me is that.
Yeah. So I spent all this time trying to, and I worked it out. I thought I worked it out. I think like, just not knowing, like, being kind of.
So you were able to like step back and look and be like, shit.
Yeah, but I didn't do anything like untoward. I didn't do anything, to my knowledge. I didn't do anything. I mean, I know that I didn't intend to do anything, but like going to a dude's house just to play Descent.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, now you look back and you're like, what a dick. But on the day, it's just like, that kid. What can I do today? I can play fucking Track and Field 2 on the NES. Alone by hitting the pads with my hands.
Yeah.
Or I can go to this guy's place and, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, what's like the funnest thing to do is like at your fingertips, right?
I'm stopping the leg thing, Rex 705 of my. I was shaking my legs back and forth, and they wanted to make a GIF of it. Sorry.
I do that when I'm programming a lot. Like
I do. The leg bounce. I do that as well when I'm writing. So yeah, I guess you can kind of get lost in things. Command and Conquer. So I played Command and Conquer a bunch. I played what's the first 3D one? Maybe it wasn't the first 3D, but the one where you were the base. You start out with the base. You have to walk the base to a place to start it. A commander.
The
Supreme Commander.
Supreme Commander.
Supreme Commander is so cool.
I played that for a while. I liked that.
Total Annihilation came before it.
Yeah,
Total Annihilation.
That
That's what I'm
game's
talking about.
practically identical.
Total
Annihilation
Annihilation.
like building on that.
Yeah, Total Annihilation is the one I'm. Total Annihilation is what I'm keeping, or what I'm talking about.
That makes a lot of sense because that's like older than. I wouldn't think you were playing many RTSs by Supreme Commander time.
Yeah. So here is Shovel Knight Duck. Thank you, Cerberus, for Shovel Knight Duck.
That's
Hey,
pretty
Vanessa.
cool.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Can I have you run down to the office and see if they've gotten it? We're missing a package it says it was delivered.
It says it was.
Yeah. So if we can run down and see.
Yeah.
It's like when a pizza place says your pizza showed up.
Yeah.
It didn't come here.
Here's Beard and Mustache Duck. Nice.
Yeah, these are pretty cool.
I'm gonna verify that
They're all
came.
green though.
All the ducks are green. He did not do
Yeah,
anything.
please verify. That'd be awesome.
Sorry guys, we're looking for a few items that were supposed to show up for Landon's shoot tomorrow. We're making sure that it's here.
Yeah, that would be bad if that wasn't.
It's a monitor, so we kind of need it. It's one of the GoPro monitors.
Yeah, those sound so cool. I didn't know there was a thing like that. I mean, this sounds like something where you just sort of like hypothesize that one day we will have this technology. But we do. It's already happened.
Gigahertz?
32 gigahertz?
I said giggers.
Gigahertz. I
I
was
was
like,
saying like a cool slingy thing.
it's gonna be here tomorrow. The fourth one.
Oh.
Oh, so I picked up everything that we
Tomorrow?
were waiting for?
Seems like it. So the fourth monitor will be here tomorrow.
Cool, okay.
Well,
Early
looks like you might be
tomorrow, I
using 3
suppose.
monitors and a phone.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll get a text message when it's here.
I got a cool new sweatshirt in the mail though. I don't know if it's too big though.
Can I see it? You want to show them?
Sure, I can show them. Hold on.
But yeah,
Sorry
when-
for the going away to my phone, guys, for a second.
When I think back to it, just back to the like games as a kid thing,
Mhm.
like I didn't realize it at the time, and like I didn't even realize it for a long time after. But like thinking back now, that's all I did. When I was a kid, I wanted to play video games all the time.
Yeah.
And, like I think now, because like I don't play video games very much. Really, when I think about it.
Yeah.
But like that's all I did when I was a kid. It
Yeah.
was everything to me. Like a new game would come out, like when Dungeon Keeper 2 came out.
Fuck.
Like I fucking played Dungeon Keeper 2 for probably like thousands of hours.
Yeah, I
would
played
not-
Dungeon Keeper 2 forever. That was such a good game.
Yes.
I
Um,
like Landon's sweatshirt by the way.
Clovis15 says, I think everyone fucks up as a kid. The real question is if you learn to stop doing it. Not everyone learns to stop. That you've learned, Don, is the important part. Thank you, Clovis15. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is
Made
cool.
me feel really good, and I think you're totally right. Like, I don't think a kid is culpable for fucking up. I think an adult is culpable for learning that and growing. So this is your new sweater. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Is that too big?
No, it's not. I think you need to. I would bunch the arm, but that's me.
Yeah, I know, because it's like.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
it's
really
like
cool.
A dude's medium because they don't make them in ladies.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's a little big.
it's a little big, but
You're
it's like.
skinnier. Than
But
it's...
like my hips are fine.
Yeah, and
So-
the design is really incredible.
Yeah.
There she goes. There she goes.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me. Have you seen Interstellar? You must have seen Interstellar.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No.
Really?
Terrible.
Oh fuck! I loved it. It was so good.
Sorry.
Aw.
I liked it a lot.
I
It was,
apologize.
man, it was everything I wanted in a space movie. They
Yeah.
they
Like
go
the fake philosophy and the shitty science and the 45 minutes of them describing what they're doing and then not actually doing what they're describing.
Okay, well, did you watch The Imitation Game then?
Yeah.
That was fucking horrible.
That was
That
horrendous.
was the worst movie.
I wanted
I've
to
seen.
kill that movie. I wanted to kill everybody in the movie.
So I guess that must have been somewhat like Interstellar for
Yeah,
you then.
it was incredibly terrible. Interstellar was a bunch of talking about bullshit. Interstellar was a bunch of it's not that the science was wrong. The science was dead wrong. But so in Terminator, they break Nabokovian time loops instantly. Who gives a shit? It's amazing. The storytelling is great. Let's get one closer. Fucking Gravity. That bitch would have been dead in the first 10 minutes of that movie. I don't care. At no point did they spend 10 minutes or 40 minutes describing the physics of flying through space in Gravity.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. That girl can make it from fucking the International Space Station to walking on Earth, falling through her. I don't care. At the end, she stands up. Thumbs up. Great job. You guys did a good job. Because at no point did they say, fucking, this is how physics. No, because the minute you did that, you'd realize she would have been grunt soup in that helmet, man. She would have been liquid.
Yeah.
Don't care. We didn't address that. Jurassic Park. None of the science they're talking. They're like, they did so. Steven Spielberg, brilliant. Michael Crichton, brilliant. They reduced the science to a cartoon. Dinosaur DNA. After that point, you don't discuss it.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
okay,
the tension
that
of the
sounds
story.
fine, right?
It sounds fine. She's flying through space. Don't spend fucking 40 minutes trying to describe science incorrectly, by the way, says the guy with the physics background. Yes, there was a book, The Physics of Interstellar. You know about that book because motherfucker's selling it. He's selling it next to the fucking movie. That was what he signed off for in the rights. Of course there's a book, and of course the science of, but read any interview with Christopher Nolan, he decided that when it came down to it, he chose, his ideas over science every time, which was perfectly fine in a story.
Yeah.
That's what fiction is. If you don't hang your story on science, right?
Yeah.
Don't hang your story on some shit and then be like, but ignore it. Fucking, okay. The perfect contrast is Inception.
Yeah,
You
they
could
don't
go to
talk
dreams.
about-
It's fine. Look at my hands. You're
Yeah.
in dreams now. Who cares? What you do? You have a suitcase and you think it goes, and you're in a dream. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, how
it
did
was
they get
perfect.
there? Who fucking
Who cares?
You'll never know.
Opium. They talked about opium this one time. They went to a guy. He did a mixture. Now you're in dreams.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's perfect.
It was
exactly
perfect. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Don't sit there telling me if you had to describe. If somebody's like, well, the reality is to get into a dream, what you need to do is have an extract from an oil from the opium plant, blah, blah. Every fucking person who knows anything about biology would be like, nope. They didn't. It's a suitcase. You're in a dream.
Who is that kind of writing for? Because, somebody who doesn't give a shit about that stuff
Yeah.
it's just gonna go over, and
Right.
then people who do give a shit are gonna be
Get
like, that's
angry.
wrong.
And you know who it's for? Christopher Nolan.
Just
It's
for
for
him.
somebody to go, look how smart I am.
Yeah, look, it's like an abstraction.
You know
of
who's
how
smart?
It really works.
Jim Cameron's smart. Jim Cameron is the first man ever to travel into the fucking Mariana Trench alone.
Yeah, that's so fucking cool.
In a sub he built. You can say what you want about the story of Avatar. Every camera on that fucking film, he built. He invented the 3D camera. Not the only 3D. The 3D cameras he used, he invented himself. That's smart. Avatar is not about how fucking smart he is. In fact, if you were a little bit smart about Avatar, maybe we'd like it a little bit more story-wise. Technically, it's really brilliant. He doesn't have to tell you how fucking smart he is. He can make a cool movie. I thought Chris Nolan was that guy. I thought Inception was... The MacGuffin was perfect. Great. It's a suitcase. You do a thing. Travel through it. Spin the top. The storytelling was good. Even though... You ever think people kind of go off the rails? Like Paul Thomas Anderson makes a kind of quirky movie that's a little... The story's a little shaky. You're like, oh, okay, whatever. Then he makes a little one. The story's a little more shaky, but it's well shot. You're like, okay. Then he makes fucking... There Will Be Blood, and it's brilliantly shot and incredibly acted, and the story is like a blip, but you're like, I'll accept the blip because everything else is so incredible.
Yeah.
And then you watch The Master, and there's like no fucking story, and there's nothing to follow. There's incredible performances. It looks fucking genius. The costume, all the acting is fucking award-winning. But there's no, the story is now gone. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
And then he just like went there, and it feels like Christopher Nolan went from like Memento, no logic, not real, not whatever, just my brain's fucked up. I do a thing. Really cool storytelling, stylish storytelling. Batman comes out. It's not science, it's storytelling. The Dark Knight was like all of a sudden you're a little bit more real, but you're not telling us how real you are. It just feels more real. And then The Dark Knight Rises is a little more procedural and kind of
like a lot of subtlety, right? Into
yeah.
And then when you lose that, it becomes sort of
it gets annoying. Then Inception, and by the way, the fucking magic movie. What is it? What's the name of that movie? Why did I forget the name?
Magic movie?
Yeah, the Prestige. The Prestige comes out. That's an incredible film. It looks wonderful, and it's another movie where the conceit is Tesla made a man copying machine. Like it's fine, and I loved it. And then Inception, you're in the realm of fantasy. Then he's like, I want to be in a realm of fantasy that purports to be a realm of science. It's completely terrible.
Yeah,
It was the worst. It was the worst. I wanted to die. Cyber Kuma, I am not an angry man. I'm super passionate about films, about science fiction, primarily because I make science fiction films. That's a thing. So yeah, no, I'm not angry. I just... Isn't that weird that I got passionate about a thing and dude's like, that guy's an angry man.
I completely get it. I get angry about like game stuff all the time. Like just the idea that when I see something that could have been like amazing and then somebody does something really weird or just does something wrong, or like an Imitation Game, like just all the times where it was like token scene that movie needs to have.
Yeah.
Here, right? Like the part where they're like, Turing, you're fired.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, if he has to go, I'm going too.
They all stood up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, this is like a million other movies, and there's like 10 scenes like that where it's like, I've seen this, I've seen that, I've seen that. The science is like, there's like the science is wrong, but also there's not much of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is there in this movie? What is this movie? What am I supposed to like about it?
He was also gay, and they wanted to make the huge point about that too.
But they didn't even.
No,
like,
they didn't.
No,
They
make a good point.
They
about
made the weak cliche point about it. It was really annoying. I want to answer a question. They're talking about Deus Ex Machina and what it means. As a storyteller, that's an important point. That's something that I know very well about. I see that people quoted some stuff for Wikipedia, but it's going by very quickly. Deus Ex Machina comes from Greek and Roman theater. It was God during a story. The story would get really complicated, and then all of a sudden a god would come down from either the floor, pop up from the floor, or come down from the sky, lowered by a machine, a bit of rigging. And he would fly down and be like, I love you, Heredites. Your demon guy will be abolished, or I will I will spite you with a fucking lightning bolt. And he would basically end the story. So none of the fight or whatever, none of the struggle of the story really meant anything. It led to a point where the story was ultimately resolved by a guy who was lowered in on a fucking chain.
So everything was fucking pointless.
A guy as a god. Yeah, and nothing really meant anything because in the end the god would be lowered in or like raised up via a machine. So it's a god via machine is what it means. And it's a plot device wherein something external to the primary movers of the story is brought in at the last moment to kind of resolve the story, the major conflicts of the story.
That you really couldn't have seen coming.
You could never have seen it coming, and it's a shitty thing to do. Yeah. Duck Penguin cosplay, says Cerberus. He's a pixel machine today.
Yeah.
Doo-doo. Let's see. Yep. Duck Penguin with red eyes.
That's sick. It's like a total conversion.
Yeah. So yeah, check out Deus Ex Machina as a term. I'm sure they were looking, but yeah, it's a God from a machine or God from whatever. Anyway, it seems like we're 5 minutes late. Vanessa hasn't rolled out and told me that we're done. Vanessa just heard me and now says that we're done. So we're gonna finish up. We have to go get something to eat. I haven't really eaten for a while, and I'm kind of hungry, and we're gonna get some stuff. So thank you guys for joining us on this edition of Starr Mazer Television. I'm Don Thacker, creator of Starr Mazer. One of now 10 people who are creating Starr Mazer. I'm the director and lead writer in Starr Mazer. This is Landon Podbielski.
Yeah, Podbielski.
Podbielski.
Cool.
Sorry, it's a name that just like what were we saying before? What's the word we were saying where we've never heard it said?
Oh, Grystar.
Yeah. Ristar or Rystar. I've read
it
it
anyway,
a million times. Yeah. So Podbielski, creator of Duck Game, sole creator of Duck Game. He's going to be here today and tomorrow for the shoot. Keep an eye on imagosfilms.com/our Twitter or our Twitter feed to see cool pictures of Landon and all of us shooting the Duck Game spot tomorrow. Cybercoon wants to know if the stream's going on standby or ending. It's ending. Tuesdays and Thursdays tend to be just a couple hours. Saturdays are the big long ones. So yeah, check out that. Check out Starr Mazer on Twitter, on Facebook. StarRmazer.com. There's some new information and some new design changes being made to both the Starr Mazer site as well as some Imagos Film stuff, like the Motivational Growth site's going to be updated. If you haven't had an opportunity to go see Motivational Growth, go check it out on Steam or get it at GOG. Either is really cool. If you're not our Starr Mazer's friend on Steam, become our friend on Steam and play me in Mortal Kombat X or 10 or whatever. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Thanks for joining Starr Mazer TV. Thank you, Landon, for coming on the show. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.